Well, that video title is not clickbait. It's going to be my last year on the sim. Why? I'll explain that to you, plus what's in store for the rest of this year and what's in store for SSR, ESRN, and National Auto Racing Club moving forward, because that is still staying. Just me going. So stick around. We got a lot to cover next. What's up, everybody? Thomas Brennan here. Thank you very much for joining me. And like I said, we got a lot to cover in this video. And the big part is this is my last year. It's going to be my last year on the sim. 2025 is going to be it for me. After the end of this year, I will no longer be doing sim racing, at least how I'm doing it now. And for the most part, I probably won't be doing it regardless anymore. Now, a couple things, and I could talk for hours about why this is, but you don't care to hear it, which I don't blame you. It's got nothing to do with your life, right? But the main thing is that the situation that I'm in right now and where I'm at in my life, I just don't have time for it. And when I spend as much time as I do on the sim, particularly with like the insider program and things like that, even though you guys haven't seen me making videos and doing live streams and racing, stuff like that, I still every week am doing the insider program and testing and, things like that behind the scenes. When I do all that stuff and it's basically just become work for me, it's hard when I don't have time. And right now I don't have time for it. I haven't had time for it in more than a year. And this last year in 2024, it was really a struggle for me. And I was kind of at a pretty rough spot in my life personally. And what I mean by that, and I don't mean like things were, it's not like I was, it's not like I was going to be homeless or my family's falling apart, nothing like that. But I just was kind of stuck, I think it happens to individuals throughout their lives. And I think it happens at certain points in our lives too, because this has happened to me a couple of times before. I know when I turned 28, it was a big kind of a big point in my life for me. That 28 was really tough. I hear people be like, oh man, 30 was rough for me. 30 was fine for me. 28 was tough for me. When I turned 28, I was still screwed up on drugs. I had been, at that point, I was a decade into hardcore drug addiction. And it was like, is this my life? Is this what I'm going to just keep doing? Am I just going to do it? Am I just waiting to die? Like, is this what's going on? Like that was where I was at 28. And then I've talked about it before. I went up to Washington, life got turned around, came back, ended up meeting my wife a year later. Our son's born, and now I'm a dad of, my daughter, she's my stepdaughter, but she's my daughter, and my son, and life just, completely changed in a matter of time. Another big point was this last year, was in 2024. As you guys know, in 2023, we started an auto glass business, myself and my brother. At the end of 2022, the online stuff here was going really, really well. In fact, it was going so well, I had just quit working my part-time job at Amazon, and I hadn't even been doing many hours there because the online stuff was going so well. And my brother came to me with this opportunity for this auto glass business. This guy that we had known, he was retiring, and it was like, hey, we could, he'll make the introduction for us to all these body shops and his current customers, and it's up to us to keep them. He's like, but I think it could be a really good opportunity, and I think we could make really good money at it, and I think both of us could really prosper from it, right? And turn it into something where one day we're managing a business instead of working for ourselves, because that's a big difference. A lot of people, they don't they don't understand that there's a huge difference between that, right? I have been an entrepreneur now for many, many years, and I have had, you know, a couple of businesses where I'm basically working for myself. And that's a very different thing than managing a business. And so that's kind of what the goal was. And 2023 was hectic. I talked about it before. I think in 2023, I think I had like 12 days off the entire year. Like, that's not an exaggeration. I was working somewhere between 100 and 120 hours a week. The glass business we were so busy. It was like this abnormal year in terms of auto body work, and because anytime a car's got to get painted and stuff like that, they got to pull the glass out. We would pull the glass out, then we'd have to put it back in. Stuff we don't need to really cover because it's about sim racing, but just it was a crazy busy year. I had almost no days off. It smoked me, and all that time I'm still doing the insider stuff, and I'm still trying to live stream and still trying to stay up with it, right? And it was really getting to me because I wasn't able to maintain the public presence. And you understand when you do stuff like this, where you have a business, an online business that's built off of quote unquote a brand, right? Like your personal brand, which is just built off of you, your identity, who you are. It's very hard, and it takes a toll on you when you can't be there because it feels like you're not keeping up. And there's a real issue that you struggle with it doesn't matter who you are. You can even go, I mean, you go ask some of the most successful people online today. People, they're so far past anything I've ever even dreamed of doing, let alone actually achieved. And they'll even tell you that they deal with the same type of stuff I'm talking about right now when you talk about like things like imposter syndrome. Even though you've been doing it successfully forever, like you have this feeling like, oh my God, you're so worried about screwing up and doing something wrong that you're almost like, God, do I actually know what I'm talking about? Am I doing this right? Is this okay? Do I need to be doing this more? Do I need to be doing it less? Like it's a real issue. It's a real issue. And you burn yourself out. And that's what happened to me in 2023. I burned myself out. Last year, 2024, was a struggle for different reasons. I was burnt out from the previous year. I still worked a ton. I was still working 100, hours a week, and I still didn't have very many days off. And it was last year, about halfway through 2024, where I was like, is this really am I just going to be doing this for the next 20 years? Is this it? Is this my destiny? Is this what I'm meant to do, is just kill myself in an auto glass business, and then, literally whatever bit of mental bandwidth I have left, I'm just smoking it in sim racing? Like, is this it? And I've been really active over the last couple of years in the church. My wife was Catholic. We baptized our son Catholic. My daughter's Catholic. And I've been on the path of converting to Catholicism myself. And I like it. I love it. Not to make this about religion or anything like that, but for me, it really it filled a hole that I didn't realize I actually had. I did a lot of, praying, meditating, just kind of like, what am I doing? Is what I'm supposed to be doing? If it is, I'll keep doing it, right? Like, as that's kind of how I've been viewing stuff over the last 18 months. Like, whatever plan God has for me, it's like, I'm on it. If I'm not, just kind of steer me in another direction. And, I've come to a point in my life where a lot of this has to do with the addiction aspect, where it's just like I'm done trying to control. I'm so done trying to control things. I'm just like, whatever, take it, please. Just tell me what to do. You ain't gotta tell me. Just kind of point me in the direction. I'll just keep on going until I stumble and fall a different direction, right? Like, that's kind of where I've gotten with it. And last year, my son has been, for a few years now, he's been wanting to do motocross. And I told him, I'm like, Isaac, there's not a lot of places for us to go riding. We would have to go ride at tracks. I grew up riding dirt bikes, but I never rode motocross tracks, right? I was a trail rider, things like that. The closest thing I ever did to motocross was BMX. I raced a BMX for years, was decent at it. I went and ran states and, things like that, the California State Championship, stuff like that. But I was really young, so I didn't know anything about motocross or, I knew about dirt bikes. We rode dirt bikes all over Northern California, but not motocross. And he was like kind of set on it. Like he just kept asking about it. And it was like one day all of a sudden got this idea. It was like, well, I'll do it with him. And we started doing it together. And it's become like our thing. And if you read, for those of you who've been around a long time, this channel that I'm recording this video on, this was started because this was initially called TNI 35. It was my son and I's gaming channel. He wanted to be a YouTuber when he was like 7. And we started this channel. And he got in trouble. And we took away his Xbox. And we needed content on it. And at the time I had just kind of figured out the sprint car setups on iRacing. And so I posted a video called How to Set Up Your Wing Sprint Car on iRacing or something along those lines. It was like 2 or 3 videos. And I named the playlist on YouTube School of Sim Racing. And, here we are, to make a very long story short. And so we started a YouTube channel, and now we're doing motocross. And I don't know how many subscribers we have or views we have, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. We do it for fun, right? And the little bit of time that I have right now, that's what I do. And I love it. We had our first race a couple weeks ago, and it's literally like all I want to do. Why that is, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. I don't know if God's got me on a plan to for me to go out and be a vet. I have no idea. I have no clue. No clue. All I know is I love it. I enjoy it. And my son is 12. I don't have a lot of years left with him, right, in terms of him being a kid and us doing stuff. And I'm very fortunate that he wants to hang out with me. He wants to do stuff with me, which is awesome. Right now we're doing baseball. I coach his baseball team. We just, got eliminated from TOCs, the Tournament of Champions. We have All-Stars coming up. But I get to do those things with him. And to bring this full circle, sim racing has become more of a burden to me. And last year, about September, October, I was to the point where I was like, I'm just done. I just don't want to do this anymore. And I talked to, the leadership team, in SSR, and told them, like, hey, you guys, 2025 is my last year. I couldn't just end it after 2024 because of the insider program and the memberships and all the stuff like that. There was a lot of people who have yearly memberships. I don't want to have somebody sign up for a yearly membership and then all of a sudden me say, hey, I'm done, right? I don't want that. In fact, I've been trying to cancel people's yearly memberships in the on the website, and I've been sending them emails. Hey, there's changes coming. I've been very vague, but hey, there's changes coming next year. You want to continue the program this year, you can get a monthly membership, and here's a coupon code because it'll give it to you at the same rate that you were getting the yearly membership. And that's because I don't want people to feel cheated or slighted. Even though this is my last year, I still go out and spend as much time as I've ever spent on the insider program because I want people to still have a good experience. Like I said before, SSR is not going away. ESRN is not going away. National Auto Racing Club are not going away. It's just me that's going away. They're also going to be here. They're all going to continue doing the stuff that they've been doing the last year. Bruce and Ted and Christian and all those guys. Kale, all of them. I mean, there's a list of them. Jeremy. I mean, dude, there's so many of them. I can't even name all of them because they've been doing it for so long now. If you've been running our leagues, understand those guys have been running the league for more than a year. I haven't been involved with the leagues at all. That is all them. That is all them. And it's going to continue that way. It's going to stay that way. Really, the only thing that still has my fingerprints on it is the Insider program. And obviously this YouTube channel, which this YouTube channel is going to continue. I'm just not going to be doing sim racing, right? I don't know what I'll be putting on here, but it just won't be sim racing. And if it is sim racing, it'll be something that I'm like doing with my son, right? Like it'll be something like that. Or who knows? I don't know. I might not post anything ever again. I have no idea. I just know that the end of this year, I'm not going to be doing iRacing like I am right now. And I still, like I said, I plan on finishing out this year with the Insider program. Every week, like I said, I still test. I still try to develop and make things better, even when we have weeks like with certain cars. I think this last week, like I can't remember which car, Dirt Midget Pro Late Model, one of them. I think the setups that they have this season are almost the same, if not the same as last season. But I still test all of them to make sure that they're still good, right? Like I still go through and retest everything, because the last thing I want to do is put out something that's horrible. Even though I've never said that, hey, use this and you're going to win, because that's never been the motto with anything that we do. It's always, we're saving you time. Here's something that'll hopefully get you that much closer. And if you want to fine tune it for your driving, here's how, here's the stuff to do it. Like that's always been what we've done, which is why I've always tried to keep it as cheap as possible. And I'm still going to continue doing that through this year, right? But I wanted to announce this now because I don't want people to think like I'm trying to rip them off or cheat them or anything like that, because that's not the case. In fact, that's the last thing I want to do. What we started here it's pretty incredible. And considering what we've gone through these last, 4 years, it'll be 5 years when I walk away in 2026. 6 years. Dude, this started during COVID, right? Like that's when this all started, during COVID. I posted those videos before COVID happened. And then I did that open wheel dirt masterclass, and I did it for free because we were all on lockdown. And dude, a couple months later, we had a business, and we never even intended to have a business, never intended to even have it. Was never even the goal. I did those master classes, and people were like, well, who's going to build our setups? I'm like, I just taught you guys how to do it. Go do it. Well, we don't want to do it. It takes too long. We'll pay you to do it. Like I had people who wanted to just give me their money for setups. It was the craziest thing. I still have people to this day that are original Insider members that pay $2 a month for cars. They're still on the original payment thing that we started back with Upgrade Chat in Discord back in 2021. It's crazy. So to see what it's become and where it is now is incredible. And for me to walk away from it, it's not easy. It's not. It's tough, even though I'm burnt out on it. And my heart's not in the racing aspect of it like it used to be, right? It's very hard for me to do, and it's why I still, even though I'm ready to be done, it's why I still grind away every single week on the Insider stuff, because I still enjoy getting, messages from people saying, "Hey, man, this gotta win this week in the set." Like that. I still enjoy that, even though I don't enjoy this for myself anymore. I still enjoy helping people with it. And that brings me to, the rest of this year, right? Like what's the rest of this year going to look like? Well, I'm going to continue doing the Insider program. For everybody who's still on it, your access is good until the end of this year. At the end of this year, every paid membership will be canceled. Everything will be canceled, and it will be canceled in a way that there won't be any accidental charges or anything like that. Anybody who's had like a yearly membership that slipped through the cracks, meaning like I haven't caught it, like I didn't catch it, or it re-upped, like maybe it re-upped in like the first week of January or something like that. Like, get with you and we'll figure out like, hey, okay, so you paid for 1 week of this next year, we'll prorate it, and then, whatever, like we'll figure it out, because like I said, I don't want there to be any issues with this. I don't want people feeling like I'm trying to rip them off, because that is the last thing that I want to do. It, well, like I said, what we built, I'm really proud of it, and I don't, even though I'm walking away from it, I don't want to destroy what we built over a $4 a month membership, right? Or a $100 a year membership. That's not what I want to do. So we'll be canceling all that stuff at the end of this year. Everybody will be notified. Everything will be canceled. All that stuff, and not just like I said, the memberships, but the subscriptions, any payment, everything. It's going to be gone, wiped, bye bye. I don't want any accidental stuff. Nothing. So that'll be happening. But also, I have been working on. I had a project that I was going to continue after I left. And I'm no longer going to do that neither, just because I want a clean break from this. And if I continued doing this, I wouldn't have a clean break. I was basically developing an app, and it was a virtual crew chief app that built custom setups for you for any car that you wanted. I had been training this thing and working on this thing using AI for months, and was basically creating an AI version of myself, where you would talk, literally, you would use your voice, talk into say, hey, the car's pushing in turn, 2 and 3. Or yeah, pushing on the entries of turns, 1 and 3. And it would literally, if it was during a race, it would say, hey, here's the adjustment that we'll make during the pit stop. If it was a NASCAR race, if it was like a sprint car or a late model or something like that, it would literally build out the setup for you. It would take the setup that you have, make the adjustments to it for you, tell you what they are. And you could either update the setups yourself, or it would actually, boom, create the new setup. Now, there was obviously a lot of stuff that had to be done because iRacing setups are coded and there's all these different things, but that's what I was working on, and I had been working on it for a while. In fact, if you're in the Insider program, there are setups that you have used during this season that I built using that app that I created. And you probably didn't even know it, because they looked similar to other setups that I've built. And that's because everything that it creates was based off of my thought process. And it was based off of my Motec workbooks. I used my telemetry data to tweak them, to optimize them, all those different things. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. And it was definitely something that I liked and was excited about doing. But like I said, I wanted a clean break. What I've decided to do instead is I am going to teach you. I'm going to show you these. I'm going to create some videos. I'm going to show you how you can build your own custom setups using AI, using something like ChatGPT-4, or I don't even know which other ones they're out there. There's so many other ones out there. But I'm going to show you how you can do this. Obviously, I'm going to show you for free. I'm going to create the videos and show you on here. I'm going to show you how to do it for any car. I'm going to show you how you can create custom setups for a car that you've never built a setup for, that you have no knowledge of, right? I've tested this myself personally. I don't know GT3 cars, but guess what? I built custom setups for it using these methods, and they worked. And they worked well. Because once you know the parameters, it'll take care of it for you. And the beautiful thing is that it does it in a way that's outside the box. I actually made massive improvements on a couple of my NASCAR setups, cup setups, using this, because it thought of things that I would not have thought of. And it was really cool. And it works really well, especially on things like shocks. Like those of you who don't know how to tune your shocks, dude, ChatGPT, incredible. It'll optimize your shocks so well that you'll think you're driving a different car. It is incredible. And I'm pretty good on shocks, but these things, it's insane. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do that, because there's a way to doing it. A lot of people, you see all these people online nowadays talking about, AI has become like the new, get rich quick scheme. It's just a bunch of idiots spousing stuff. They have no idea what they're talking about. And I don't claim to be an AI expert. I'm not. But if you don't know how to ask it, if you don't know how the prompts, what you need to do, how to train it, how to actually get how to input information into the memory so it can actually do things the correct way. If you don't do that right, you're going to get some stuff back you're going to be like, dude, this makes no sense. Because if you just went to ChatGPT and you said, hey, build me a setup for the NASCAR Next Gen Cup car at New Hampshire for iRacing, the setup that it's going to give you it won't even pass tech. It'll be so bad. You'll be like, dude, I can't even drive this. But once you know how to do it, once you know how to train it, how to get it to actually start thinking the way that it needs to think for the platform, man, it's huge. It's a massive time saver, and it works for any single car. And when you know how to build the telemetry stuff like I have to go with it, it's massive. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to do that for dirt, asphalt, and we're going to even do some road stuff. And I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. I'm going to show you guys the telemetry that you use to do with it. I'm going to teach you guys all that for free, because my goal has always been the same. I want to help as many people as I can with this. I've always talked about the only reason we charged for the insider program was because I had to be compensated for the amount of time it took me. That's why. And even then, the money that we make off it, a big, huge chunk of that has always been reinvested back into the community. That's how we pay for all of our leagues and all of the trophies and the awards and all that stuff that we want to do when we sponsor things, all this stuff like that. So my goal is still the same. And I want to help as many people as I can. Because to me, I think it's sad when I go and I see iRacing start something like this new, or like we saw this, a season or two ago, the wheel and modified tour, right? Or the super late model tour for like the short track asphalt stuff, and they're fixed. That sucks. They're fixed because people don't want to drive them with open setups, because the setup shops, right, have made it, people think like you have to have this paid setup to compete, and you don't. You don't, but people don't know how to set them up. And so unless they're fixed, they're like, well, I'm not going to drive it. I don't want to drive it. And, sim racing, right, reality is open setups. That's the closest thing to a sim. And because we get these things where we got, setup shops and all the other nonsense, broken setups and things like that, it can just kind of ruin things. And I've always been somebody who enjoyed the open setup aspect and making changes and adjustments and making the car better or worse, right? Figuring stuff out. Like that's always been kind of my thing. And I think it sucks that, there's series on here that people don't even drive because they don't know how to do the setups. And it's a shame because they're really fun cars to drive. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do all that stuff. Like I said, and I'm going to teach you guys for free. And I'm going to be, at the end of this year, I will be giving away, well, not the end of this year, but, throughout the year as I do these teachings, I'll be giving you guys the Motec workbooks to go with it. Now, these will be different than my own personal Motec workbooks. The reason for that is those ones are ones that other people have paid for. When I did the Motec masterclass and the trainings, the road to pro trainings and stuff like that, those workbooks that were in those trainings, the people paid for those, and I can't just give that stuff away. Even though I'm leaving, I can't just give that stuff away. So that's not what I'm going to be giving away. But you'll be getting ones that you will more than be able to use with this ChatGPT stuff. Okay. And I'll even teach you how to make your own telemetry workbooks with ChatGPT. I'll show you how to do that as well. So you guys, that's going to do it. I know this video was long, but I wanted to let you guys know what was going on, what's been going on. You know, the last video I put out, I had people, you know, comments, and I had people messaging me like, dude, where you been? What's going on? You know, and it's not that I don't want to race, or I've got so much other stuff going on, so many things happening in my life. And for me, the little time that I have for sim racing, it's like I got to get this insider stuff done. I got to take care of this aspect, and by the time I'm done with that, I'm so burnt out and I'm just so exhausted, just so done with everything. I only have a little finite amount of time left for my family. And, you know, like I said, with my son, it's motocross, or time with my wife, or, you know, my daughter, and things like that. And this is just taking a back seat. And the more, you know, that it's taken a back seat, the more that I've just come to realize, like, okay, I'm time to move on. So yeah, still got, you know, 7 months left of this year. I'll still be around. You know, 2025 is not over yet, but I wanted to just give everybody a heads up, kind of what to expect, what's happening. I will still be around. Like I just said, we got a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing and going to be teaching you guys, and I plan on doing that. Because nothing would make me happier than to see everybody out there, their ability, you know, able to create their own setups and their own workbooks and things like that, right? Do stuff that they think only the pros know how to do. So, and they don't have to pay for it. That would be amazing. That would be the best thing. You don't have to go out and pay $25 for a setup. They can just create it themselves. So, that would be awesome, and we're gonna get there. We will get there. So anyways, you guys, that's gonna do it. Thank you very, very much, if you are still watching this, for sticking around. I know I rambled a lot through that. I talked about a ton of stuff, and I'm not even going to go back and like edit this. I'm just gonna literally take it and upload it, minus the phone call that I got in the middle of it. That'll be cut out because you guys don't want to hear me talking to my brother about our auto glass business. So, but other than that, you guys, thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. You know, these last few years, all the time that we've been doing this, words literally cannot describe how blessed I am, and how blessed I feel, how grateful I am for every single one of you guys who have subscribed to this channel, liked the video, watched it. You know, you're on the website, the email list, part of the Discord, all of it, every single aspect of it. I cannot thank you enough. And, you know, I know that even when I'm gone, right, SSR, ESRN, NARC, I know that they're going to be fine, because like I said, Bruce and all them guys, they've been handling that stuff for a very long time, and they'll continue handling it just fine without me. And I'll be excited to see where they take it after I'm gone, because I'm sure it will be around for a long time, and I'm sure it'll continue to improve. So anyways, you guys, that'll do it. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, as always, I want to wish you good luck, good racing.